Can I tell you, Chad, even I am not immune to the call of the void. I almost ruined my weekend on social media 2 times this weekend, okay? I'm proud of myself that I didn't. What were the 2 times? First, a man went viral wearing Apple Vision Pro while holding his infant daughter while she was napping on his chest. And he said, I'm testing out my Apple Vision Pro, watching Avatar while my child sleeps on my chest. Someone quote tweeted it and got 50,000 likes that said, if I had a daughter, I would simply cherish her. I had the tweet drafted up. I was going to quote tweet with the picture of the dude who says, I reject the premise of the question, i.e., you can cherish your daughter and also watch Avatar at the same time while she's sleeping. I almost hit post, and then I thought to myself, why? Why would I do this? There's no point. I get in a couple licks, and then I get, 10,000 people in my mentions thinking that I respect the Apple Vision Pro, even though I went off on it for me not getting it for like 90 minutes. There's no context. That's not what social media is built for. It would have been a little dopamine rush. There's no reason for it. The other one, out of nowhere, I was just going to post my boomer parenting take is that my child doesn't need to bring a water bottle to absolutely every activity she goes to. But I was so not ready for 50,000 people without kids to be like, the Norman Rockwell free speech picture. I think human beings need water to live. -2, she should hydrate. Listen, I said it was my boomer parenting take. She hydrates well at home. We'll go out for lunch. She'll drink, a glass of water, glass of orange juice. She's going to potty all the time. She can go to class for an hour or 90 minutes without having a water bottle. It's just one more thing to forget. Now, back in the day, I apologize for pulling the back in the day card. Back in the day, they used to send us to school for 7 hours. We would have one 200 milliliter juice box in our lunchbox. And maybe after gym class, you get like 5 seconds at the water fountain before somebody gives you a 5-star. And we didn't even know what dehydration was. We probably should have been drinking more water. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think, with God as my witness, in 10 years of elementary school, middle school, I don't think I ever heard one of my friends say, I'm really thirsty. I'm not suggesting that thirst is a modern concept. I'm just suggesting that my kid does not need to bring the water bottle to every 45-minute long activity. We can just keep some water in the car. When you live in Vancouver, you can just open your mouth and look up. There might be some truth to that. I don't live in the desert. You must get thirstier faster in the desert, right? It makes sense. I used to bring 2 Gatorades to school. That reminds me of, I used to play softball, and there was a kid that was like probably a foot taller than me and 70 pounds heavier than me that was the same age. He was our DH. Every baseball practice, the kid would drink a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi. We were like 9 to 11 years old, and baseball practice was like less than an hour and a half long. The dude was pulling like, I don't even know, like 1,100 calories of pure corn syrup. He's not dead. He's just chilling. I see him now and then when I'm back in my hometown. But now he's like a foot and a half taller than me. So maybe the Pepsi diet worked, man. You ever hit a homer? I swear to God. So I was like a non-power hitter. I was a contact hitter and a good fielder, which in like rec league softball means that, you're not really that valuable. But so our team was always like out of the 6 teams in the league, we were always in second last or last, which means that in the first round of the playoffs, we always had to play the best team or the second best team. I don't remember specifically whether they were the best or the second best, but we were playing them in the first round of the playoffs. We knew we were going to get trounced. I swear to you, we were tied in like the 6th inning or whatever the last inning is of the game in the first round of the playoffs. For the first time in my entire life, I stepped up to bat and I corked a solo shot. I didn't get it over the fence. I didn't have that kind of firepower as a 12-year-old. I hit an inside the park home run when I crossed the plate to put us up by 1 in the playoffs, almost completing the most incredible upset we'd ever experienced, I like stomped on the plate and jumped up and down, and I was like, yeah! And then like the kid who was on deck, like who was gonna bat next, like came and grabbed me, and we were like jumping up and down, like, yeah! And then with God as my witness, the umpire deducted a run from our squad for excessive celebration, like unsportsmanlike conduct, and we lost the game. It was like the most fucked up moment of my amateur sports career. You're not allowed to celebrate. It's the first home run I ever hit in my entire life in the most clutch situation of all time. Then the ump is like, you know, I'm 12. The ump's like 16. It's crazy. No, nowadays the parents would be throwing fists, but I think back in the day, everyone was just like, you know, it's just nice to be here on a Saturday. Weather's nice. I mean, nobody in this league was going to the majors, let's put it that way. We should find that ump and ruin his life. You wanna? No, let's not. Wait, I am in a position of influence here. I have to relax a little bit. I can't say stuff like that. You wanna? No, he's okay. I wouldn't even know his name, to be honest. Ooh. 2014 with 451 million views. This is Mr. Beast. Last person inside of the circle wins a Mazda RX-8. All right, well, I'll tell you right off the jump, the drums are telling me nothing. Wait. Give it a moment. Give it a second. Ooh. Yeah, I like it. I don't like the third one as much. Let's throw him a little monkey wrench here in the second phrase. Okay, you get with the third measure, you got to hit me with something good here. Okay, you're washed. I get it now. They were laying down some harmony. They were playing the fifth so that the choir could take the third. Opposite, they were playing the root so the choir could take the fifth. My apologies. I need strings. I'm gonna know the song. It's just a matter of when I know it. This feels very like 21 minutes into the Peloton ride. They give you a little juice to keep you going. I need voices, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, 1 second. I've heard it for sure. Cause I don't wanna do nobody. So I know it and I don't like it. That puts it in a dangerous spot. Let me close my eyes or imagine where I might have been when I heard this. Routines. Remain elevated. Stay lifted. Habits. Stay high. You can't beat me with a context clue. That's all I'm saying. But we got 74 out of 74 found. That's kind of crazy. Thanks for reminding me, everybody. It brings me no pleasure to do this. I need to go to Letterboxd. We will be logging the film The Color of Money from 1986, directed by Martin Scorsese, Paul Newman, Tom Cruise, John Turturro. 2.5 stars, no heart. I'm sorry. Not a bad movie. Doesn't mean I hated my time with it. But a lesser Scorsese for sure. I don't know what else to say. I will say that you might say, really, it compares with something like Underwater, which got 2 stars and no heart. Well, when you go into Underwater, you're looking at different domains of comparison, okay? If I asked you how your trip to the ER was, and you said it's a 3 out of 5, and then I asked you how, like, dinner was, and you said it was a 2.5, I'd be like, oh, you'd rather go to the ER? No, motherfucker. You're comparing them across different rubrics, okay? You go into Underwater, came out in January of 2020. It's a creature feature starring Kristen Stewart. I wouldn't say I was pleasantly surprised, but I went into it with muted expectations, and those expectations were only slightly unmet. Paul Newman, Tom Cruise, Martin Scorsese, original soundtrack by Robbie Robertson. I went into it thinking, this movie is going to crush. And when I was watching it, I was like, it's okay, but it didn't really get the blood pumping. So I apologize. Fun fact, The Color of Money is how Doom got its name. When Tom Cruise unwraps the babushka, and the guy says, what's that? And he says, this is Doom. That's a funny piece of trivia. I hate to do this again, on Friday told you that I hadn't quite finished Steven Spielberg's West Side Story, but it was trending towards a 3.5 to 4 with a heart. I finished it on Saturday. I gave it a 3 with no heart. I really feel like the first half of the movie, up until when the rumble starts, is really good. And the big ensemble numbers are incredible. Very well shot, very well choreographed, great music, obviously. And then once the rumble happens and the movie zooms way in on the characters, and you get a lot of Ansel Elgort 1v1 with Rachel Zegler, I was like, I don't want to be a hater, but just based on that one performance, I was like, I don't know if they got the sauce. I don't know if Ansel and Rachel had the sauce for this one. I think they needed a little bit more gravitas. So I gave it a 3 with no heart, but with some respect, for sure. What about Officer Krupke? I always just think about Larry David singing the song in his car. Gee, Officer Krupke, Krupp you! Heard they got your mans. Heard they got your mans on no motion crimes. Heard you grew up with them. That was your boy that you was hanging with. You didn't feel nothing? No guilt or nothing? What am I watching right now? Well, I finished The Color of Money 80 minutes into my ride this morning. So I had 40 minutes left. That means I'm 36, because it takes 3 minutes to click on something on the Peloton Disney Plus browser. I am 37 minutes into the 2007 Kerry Russell film Waitress. How do I feel about it so far? I don't know. It's kind of it's got vestiges of like too clever, self-aware, like mid-2000s dialogue. It's got a little like Diablo Cody type genotype in the DNA, but I don't hate it so far. Why are they saying this guy will just watch anything? It's a critically acclaimed movie, man. You'll just watch anything. Your ass is probably excited for the Netflix live-action adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm watching, like, Academy Award-nominated cinema. Please do not compare us. Did Waitress get nominated for an Academy Award? I bet, if I had to guess, I bet it got nominated for Best Original Screenplay. And maybe, that's probably it, but that's okay. I bet it did. Can I get some questions? Could somebody please do a fact check? It didn't get nominated? Well, that's because the Academy's all politics. They probably didn't put in a good campaign anyway. No nominations. It's all politics, honestly. It's all politics. You wouldn't understand. Do you think Bullet Train is a coworker vibe movie? Yes, but I also, I feel like describing something... We need... The definition of a coworker piece of media is still in flux, okay? I think Bullet Train is a fun movie. Now, when people said Argyle is coworker cinema, I was like, I love jumping into the dog pile on that one. I haven't seen Argyle yet. I did get spoiled because I don't care. That this motherfucker, Matthew Vaughn, no disrespect, is in 2024. He said, let's make my movie Argyle connect to the Kingsman universe. Like, he's trying to Everybody, read the room, brother. Everybody is sick of the multiverse crossover. Every movie ties into another movie franchise. And he said 2024, that's when I'm going to launch it. And then I read this dude's plan for Kingsman. And he actually thinks that presently there's not one Kingsman franchise. He envisions the future of Kingsman is that there's one Kingsman that takes place in roughly the modern day. And then there's the parallel The King's Man series, which is going to run at exactly the same time, which is going to cover the history of the Kingsmen, like surrounding the Second World War up to like the events of the Kingsman 1. And Argyle's going to be involved in it. And I'm like, brother, nobody wants this. Somebody has to say no to this dude, like right now. I actually like the first Kingsman. I like the first one, and I feel like I'm one of the only motherfuckers who thinks that the second one is actually, like, okay. To the extent that I saw the second one in theaters, and I was like, listen, it's not amazing, but Julianne Moore crushes it in everything she's in. There's some fun shots in the movie. I watched The King's Man like 2 years ago, maybe, during COVID, when it came out on Netflix or wherever it came out, and it was like, there's no reason for that motherfucker to be 2 hours and 29 minutes long. And then at the end, the post-credits scene where they introduce Adolf Hitler, and you're like, come on, man. Like, the dude is just, he's lost it. The problem is, like, with no disrespect, because I've liked a lot of Matthew Vaughn's movies. Layer Cake, Kick-Ass 1, Kingsman 1, etc., etc. But like the dude, his thermostat in his brain is set to 2014. If Kingsman came out in 2005, and then they started looping the franchises in when everyone was drunk on franchise crossovers, like people would be like, "This is fun," but nowadays, like it's overcooked. It's way too done. It's like making a movie that's like, you know, hey, check it out, we got Bullet Time. 10 years after The Matrix, people are like, get some new material. I already saw it in Scary Movie. Pacific Drive. I went too much. I went too far. Okay, I'm sorry. Now, you know me. I love the status quo. Okay, I love the Super Auto Pets. I love the Binding of Isaac. I love playing the Dulls. Do we play anything else? Not really. Multiplayer stuff, I guess. I'm excited to be checking out something new today. Pacific Drive has a demo out for Steam Next Fest. I think it comes out 22nd of February. Does February even have a 22nd? It is a survival driving game. So I see it almost like a little bit like The Long Dark meets Mon Bazu or like My Summer Car. I haven't played it yet because they gave away like an early access demo about a month ago. I didn't apply for it until like the day that they stopped giving it out. So I'm like the only dude on the planet who is like checking this out for the first time, but I'm excited to check it out regardless. Okay, now I don't know where my camera belongs, but let's figure this out for ourselves. The Olympic Peninsula, 1998. Wipers on. That won't be necessary. Lights on. South of the barrier wall. I used to have this kind of flexibility in my neck. Here we go. Those were the days. Shout out to Washington. We love our Washington, don't we, folks? This has a certain Washington vibe. It brings a certain Pacific Northwest vibe to the function that people seem to appreciate. Me, when I show up with a 30 rack of Rainier, that's something that's literally never happened. I'm LARPing, but I can imagine people would be into it. Can I say something a little controversial? I'm not sure if Gen Z is ready for this one. Driving is fun. There's something about the fact that, like, just the either the thrill of being on the highway without too much traffic, or being in the city and just like not even having any free will, instead just following like the rules of the road, like you're just an automaton that is following the algorithm the lights and the signs are putting out for you. It's fun. Parking sometimes sucks. I'll give you that. Parking is sometimes annoying. But driving is nice, man. Driving's kind of like, There's some situations where it's not great, but for the most part, it's kind of, I still feel like it's a little, there's freedom in it. Try driving in Saskatchewan, my ass would simply not get bored. I would take the opportunity to like, you know, catch up on some reading or something. Maybe shave. Even traffic is like, not that bad. I think you just have to not be weak-willed. If you're in traffic and you start getting stressed out, it's like, it's almost comical. Everything okay here with the Paranormans? Like, you're really stressed out in traffic. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, your car is gonna like grow wings and fly? Like, just relax, buddy. There's nothing you could do about it. You guys remember Control? And this is a disaster. I think we're about to get sucked up into a wormhole. I thought this was Washington State, not Washington, D.C. What does that mean? I don't know. Maybe they drained the swamp or something. Just figure it out. Siphon fuel. Okay, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna siphon some fuel. Me personally, probably would have put like the emergency brake on, but just give me a moment here. Probably put this bad boy in park. Fill your tank, if you'll excuse me. You know an easy way to fill your gas tank? To know what side your gas tank is on? You get in and you look at your fuel gauge, and then whatever, there's usually a little arrow on the fuel gauge. That'll tell you what side your gas tank is on. This one doesn't have one though, so I guess it must be electric. He knows about the arrow. I gotta get in or whatever. I appear to be dying. Let's put it in drive. Probably turn the car on if I had to guess. That seems like a pretty good start. So the thing is, you can't panic. Second you panic when you're behind the wheel, it's already over. You see that clip from when Vancouver had snow like 3 weeks ago? And the lady's car starts sliding, and her ass takes off her seatbelt and gets out of her SUV and just watches it slide down the hill. You gotta be calm and cool under pressure, just like she was. You gotta say, fuck this car, and anybody in the path of this car, I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Okay, watch this. You cannot convince me that this car could not break a barricade. All right, I thought it was gonna stop me from breaking the barricade. Now watch this specific drive. So true. They don't make them like this anymore. All these new modern cars, they can't crash through barricades like they used to because they got all these stupid crumple zones in them. Oh, my wheel fell off. All right. Hey, yay, I'm here. Oppy's Auto Shop. My car. It drived people. Oppy? You are POV, you're the second dude, employee number 2 at Los Alamos, New Mexico. Niels Bohr's been hooking up his balls to 18 car batteries in series. I'm just assuming they were all perverts. I don't know. It's kind of crazy that I'm 35 years old and I have like literally no attention span, huh? Like, I'll admit they're building some lore. I'm sure the lore is very interesting. But I'm like, hey, I wonder if I jump up on top of the workbench and crouch down, do you think I'll die? No? Oh, well, I guess I'm immune to electricity then. If there's combat, you'd hate it? That's true! There should be no combat. But there should be more driving. It should be more realistic. There should be 11 hours of driving, that is just boring, and then like 3 seconds of sheer terror when a car like veers into your lane because it made a reckless overtake. That's my kind of like road trip vibe. It's like, ah! Oh. Sorry. Tend to your wounds at the first aid station. Fix the car. Fix the car, Oppy. Me with the Vision Pro. All I wanted to say, like, I'm very much not a Vision Pro guy, as you heard me say on Friday. But the people roasting the dude for having the Vision Pro on while his infant daughter slept on his chest, you guys are like way off base, okay? Like, this kid is gonna live for like 90 years. What is the dude supposed to do? Like, have a staring contest with her every time she sleeps? Like, that's insane. I know, like, if you don't have kids, you're like, every second with them would be a gift. That's true. He's probably been with her for like, 18 hours that day, and now she's taking a nap, and his has to sit there and like genuflect at the idol of his own progeny. Like, he could literally, his dude is burnt out. Just let him watch Avatar: The Way of Water, man. It might be like the only 2 hours of free time he gets all weekend. How about the dude wearing it while he was driving? That dude should be in prison forever, for sure. But it seems like, in all likelihood, like, nature will probably handle that one pretty quick anyway. No, dude, his driving was actually enhanced by the Vision Pro. Except it did serve him an unskippable advertisement, like, while he was stuck at a 4-way stop. But I had another tweet pop into my head, okay? Now, I got to give you a little context for this. I think I'm going to get +2'd by drivers, okay? That I'm going to put my nuts on the table for this one. Sometimes you'll have no stop sign going straight, and then at the intersection, the other direction will have a stop sign. So you're driving straight through the middle, and there will be cars stopped at stop signs. Me explaining to the cars that are stopped at stop signs that I would go through the intersection faster if they stopped moving their fucking wheels at a crawl, making me think that they're gonna T-bone my car as I pass through the intersection. Me explaining to the drivers that are stopped at stop signs that if you actually stop, I'll get through the intersection faster and you can get to your destination quicker. Oh, now I get it. So true. Oh. Me explaining to the first person in line for a protected left turn signal that when the light has a green arrow on it, you can make your turn. Yeah, so, you know what I'm saying? What about when there's a right on red, but the driver's never heard of that before? In high traffic environments, I'm just gonna say it. I am a right on red disbeliever. In situations where there's no traffic, turning right on red is awesome. In situations where there's a lot of traffic, pedestrians, cyclists, etc., sometimes, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes what I do is I'll get in the right lane. I know I'm going to turn right. There's people behind me. While the light is red, I don't put my signal on. And then, because if I put my signal on, they'll be like, go, kill that pedestrian, kill the cyclist. Then when the light turns green, I turn my signal on and then check that it's safe and make the turn. Do you ever honk? I am a non-honker in the car. I would say I honk 1 to 2 times per year. And the only time I honk, 90% of the time, it's somebody looking at their phone when the traffic light turns green. But I do yell at them from the safety of being inside of my car. I do go, what are you doing? I do 2 short honks as a thank you. Listen, it's not your fault. You didn't design the system. But honking at all is like alerting the horde of everybody else around you. So I appreciate when I hear none honking because it always makes me think that I did something wrong. Which probably is like a 10% penalty to my driving for 5 seconds. What I do, if somebody lets me in, like, I'm driving and then all of a sudden the lane that I'm in has become street parking, so I have to get over. If somebody lets me in, I turn on the 4-ways and I give them 2 taps on the 4-way flashers and then turn it off. And I give them 2 taps because I feel like the first one they're going to be like, holy cow, I let this guy in and now he's going to abandon his car. And the second one is like, nah, bro, I got you. Yeah, the hazards. Hazards, that's the polite way to say thank you, because everybody's windows are so tinted that you can't really catch them with like a wave in the rearview mirror anymore, or like a hand out the window, stuff like that. You get in front of them, you give them a, and then you're good to go. That's insane. It's not insane at all. It's perfectly normal. Is it a Canada thing? I feel like I've never seen it in the US. We got lots of automotive innovations up here they don't seem to have in the United States. Signal lights are another big one. We use those to indicate to drivers around us the direction that we intend to travel in our 2,000-pound metal coffins. I'm visiting the US soon. This is making me scared. You're gonna be fine. It's just driving. Like, no disrespect, but like literally 150 million idiots do it every day. Like, yeah, if you do it long enough, you might run into trouble. Well, like, if you're only there for, like, not that long, you'll be okay. You just gotta drive, like... I'm not saying this will make you immune to car accidents. I think that's naive. But, like, you just drive defensively, you know? Just assume that everybody else out there has, like, they've taken a number of knocks to the head over the course of their life, and they will literally kill you if you stop them from getting to Wegmans, like 30 seconds earlier than they want to. And you'll probably be fine. All the hype for the Peloton got me to buy one. I'm happy to hear that. Also, we had dinner at a friend's place on Friday, and they were giving us the tour around their house. They have a Peloton. I say, oh, when'd you get the Peloton? They said like a week ago. Just got to find the right time to casually let it slip. I was like, oh, I have one too. They're like, what's your routine? And I was like, oh, I usually like hop on and watch like, like a 2-hour-long movie, like 6 days a week. No big deal. You already know the vibe. Hang on. We dropped a road flare somewhere. Oh, just basically being an asshole. Hello, Sips. Sips, thank you for the raid. Sips, can I don't know if you're here for the raid or if it's just your audience. Let me Google something, okay? Orlando Bloom's second in command, Kingdom of Heaven. I was watching this on the Peloton about a month ago. There is an actor in Kingdom of Heaven who I honestly think, this is really the best picture I can find. There's an actor in Kingdom of Heaven who I think is your doppelganger, okay? Save as a WebP file? What is wrong with you, dude? No, I don't want to save it as a WebP. Okay, hang on. Save image as sips.png. I already have a sips.jpg. Add image. Downloads. Sips. Now, this was the best image I could find. This is Orlando Bloom on the left. No disrespect. I don't think I know anybody who looks like Orlando Bloom. But this dude right here, this is not the best scene, like the most focused image of this individual you will ever see. But this guy looks just like you, dude. What pixel is he supposed to be? He's in here, man. He's in here, okay? There are scenes, by the way, where he's in focus. Let me see if I can, like, find one. Like, he has a speaking part. He probably has, like up to 10 lines in the movie. It's just tough to find a picture because, like, there's just 1,000 horny pictures of, like, Eva Green. I get it. Kingdom of Heaven, by the way, pretty good movie. I believe I gave it 3.5 stars and a heart on Letterboxd. I would like to scan this plasma generator, please. Recommended tool, impact hammer.
It's ripe for the picking. Can't get at it with your hands, though. An impact hammer will do the trick.
Well, you guys haven't seen Nomadland 2? Did you see the tweet that was like, not every movie is a good fit for YouTube movie critics, and it was all the, like, movie YouTuber thumbnails for the zone of interest. It's like the dude's cartoon avatar, like, the darkest movie I've ever seen. And then there was the one with someone quote tweeted and replied that was like Past Lives, the most cucked movie A24 has ever made. It's so, I kind of love the internet, man. It's so good. And then someone replied to that, and it was like a blurry fake screenshot of Ant-Man and Greta Lee from Past Lives, and it says, "Past Lives, I need you to distract Thanos." Just relax, okay? I'm building a bit, Tobias. I saw the tweet, it was Poor Things. There was two. Go look at the replies to the Poor Things post. There was Poor Things, I need you to distract Kang. And then in the replies, there was Past Lives. I think it was in Spanish, though. It was like, Past Lives, I need you to distract Kang. Hang on, I got a bunch of scrap metal in my hands.
Driver, I bet you're dying to hear all about the remnants by now.
Can you not? I'm a little busy trying to keep
5 t-shirts?
I'll keep to the basics, I promise.
There's got to be a joke about that.
Fine. I'm giving you 60 seconds.
That is not nearly enough time to get...
I had a great idea. I'm not going to do this, but I had a great idea for a gimmick TikTok account, okay? I'm not going to do it. You have my license to take this joke if nobody else has done it before, okay? So there's all these TikTok accounts where people will like leave a comment that's like, take an outfit that you like, but make it plaid. Take an outfit with sweatpants, but make it business casual. And then they always do like a and they always look swag, right? You do exactly that. You play it straight the whole time. But the end result of every outfit that you do is a green graphic tee with the Zelda Triforce on it and the khaki shorts. Preferably with as many pockets on the khaki shorts as possible. So it'd be like, hey, take a business outfit, but make it suitable for like a day at the beach. And then just go, no matter how many things you do, it just always ends with the Zelda Triforce and the khaki shorts. You just described what my coworker wears every day, and I love that for him. It's been like 20 years since that was in fashion for 15-year-olds, which means it should be coming back now as far as I'm concerned. You might say it'll never come back. You may be right, admittedly, you may be right. But also, there's a lot of things that came back that I never thought would come back. I never thought center part Jonathan Taylor Thomas hair would come back. I never thought mullets would come back. I never thought mustaches would come back. I never thought baggy pants would come back. I never thought round glasses would come back. I mean, if you were born in 1988, you lived through like the first wave of all this stuff, and then you lived through it getting the shit kicked out of it for like 15 years afterwards. And then it came back, man. And when it 5 years before it came back, I was like, these look stupid. When it came back, I was like, people are fucking slaying in the round glasses, bro. Like, it messes with your brain. Mullets are not back. They're kind of back. I mean, I wouldn't rock one. It's not my cup of tea. But you see them now and then. I'm not the arbiter of, like, what's cool and what's not. But I still think parking sucks so much that they should just invent a car that folds up into a briefcase that you can carry inside of like your office or a store with you. I think that would be sick. Like a bike. Here's the thing, cyclists. My wife left me. I'm just joking. Here's the thing, cyclists. I would love to be able to bike everywhere. I'm on your side. I don't know why people think I love cars, even though I said driving owns and I talk about driving all the time and I never bike outside. The thing is, like, I would love to bike everywhere. I just don't want to get hit by a car and killed. And, like, even if you're the most cautious cyclist of all time, like, it happens. I know I could get hit by a car in my car and die, but at least I'm covered in, like, steel and plexiglass or whatever. But, like, I see it all the time. People will just be, like, biking, like, minding their own business, and then some dude, like, won't check his blind spot and will, like, almost crash into the cyclist. And you're like, well... You know, I literally like almost saw someone die. They didn't even do anything wrong. I'm sure if everyone biked, like it would be great for like a couple weeks, and then I would just get pissed off with cyclists. I would be like, you ever notice you're trying to get somewhere and then these motherfuckers are on like a pleasure cruise going so slow? Like, hey buddy, I'm trying to get to the grocery store. And then you're like driving to the grocery store on your bike and somebody passes by you really fast and goes on your left. Okay, Lance Armstrong, it's not the Tour de France. I'm just trying to pick up some oat milk. It is annoying when they buzz you though. Don't I know it, brother? My ass just trying to enjoy a nice walk on the seawall. Meanwhile, Floyd Landis is going by me trying to get King of the Mountain in like Foot in Boot Square. Like fucking chill out, bro. You got people eating gelato on the sidewalk. This shit is not the Giro d'Italia. I know just enough about cycling to make like a real insult. Another reason I don't bike on the road is because I think that like I'm too self-conscious. I don't have the strength of conviction to basically be like, fuck everyone behind me. You know, I'm fixated on like social order and making sure I'm not getting in anybody's way. If my ass had to be in like the center of the lane, even if I was biking like 30 kilometers an hour, if there were cars behind me that wanted to go 40, I would be like, fuck, I'll just pull over to the sidewalk and wait. I don't think I got the cojones for it. I think you need to be like a true fuck cars believer. I respect it, honestly. It's your right to drive on the road. Now, I don't understand like why you're riding your bike on 10th when there's like 2 lanes of traffic in each direction that are going fast. It's your right, but if you just go 2 blocks south, you go to 12th, it's unidirectional car traffic and then like a huge bike lane and it literally runs parallel. But I'm just saying you're exercising your charter rights. I appreciate that. Just me personally, I would rather bike on 12th than 10th, but don't let me tell you how to live your life, okay? How do you feel about parents with kids on the back of their bike? It scares me. I think it's like, it's nice, and I've only seen it backfire like one time when the dad turned too fast and then the trailer in the back jackknife and the kid went skidding across the sidewalk. But like for me personally, like I'm a reasonably confident cyclist and I still don't feel comfortable doing it. Like maybe it's too risk averse, but anything can happen. Like I could crash, my tire could pop, I could get hit by a car. It's just like, it's too much for me. I don't think the parents are being like irresponsible. It's just like, it's beyond my level of risk tolerance. You're the most risk averse person that's ever lived? That's definitely false. I own equities. DL Guiga told me that if he was a streamer, 100% of his net worth would be in fixed income. I'm 80-20, bro. NL will never know the days before UMG took 20% of music off of TikTok. Excuse me, I got my TikTok account in January of 2020. I'm pretty sure that made me like the 5th Canadian on the website. There were like 4 trad moms and me posting Fall Guys clips. And then 1 trad mom posting Fall Guys clips. You see that mom on, I think she's on either TikTok or Instagram, and her thing is like, her kid will like, her kid is like 2 or something like that. She'll ask for cereal, or he'll ask for cereal, and she'll like hand make her own cereal. Lady, can you just chill out? No disrespect, like I'm not saying you're not within your rights to do it, but like, you know, you can get a box of Cheerios for like $3.99. It's not hard though. It's pretty hard. She was like baking oats and then cutting them into circles and then like putting honey on top of them and then baking them again, and then like it was a ton of work, bro. It comes out of the factory as like a perfect circle. I'm just saying the kid is probably going catabolic at that point, right? I just saw a video of that mom. She made her own custom Fruit Loops. It's crazy, bro. More power to you. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm not making my own like Baby Bell cheeses, okay? I will say, Kate and I had Korean barbecue yesterday. I had a beautiful experience at dinner. I ate a lot of meat. When the bill came, I said that's very expensive, and it got me thinking how stupid I am. How could Korean barbecue not be expensive? They're giving you good cuts of meat. And then I started to imagine what like a budget Korean barbecue restaurant would look like. And I just pictured them coming out with like slices of like, you know, lunch ham and stuff like that, and like throwing a bunch of ground beef onto the damn charcoal grill in front of you. That bologna with the noodles in it. You keep budejige out your mouth. You know why? Because I think it's disgusting, personally. That's just my 2 cents. I'm not trying to say it shouldn't exist. I'm not trying to say it's not valid. Seoul in Surrey goes pretty crazy for the price. We weren't in Surrey. I don't know. It was, I mean, I've come to accept that if you want to feast at Korean barbecue, it's going to cost you like almost the same that it would cost you at a steakhouse. The catch is you have to cook your own meat, but you're going to get like 3 times more than you would at a steakhouse, but you have to cook it yourself. I just got back from Seoul. I pronounced budejige the way you do, and everyone corrected me. Well, first off, motherfucker, my ass does not speak Korean, so that's not like a surprise, for one. But secondly, that shit used to happen to me like all the time in Korea. Like even in Seoul, you'd be like, I'm going to Seoul, and people would be like, it's not Seoul, it's Seoul. And you're like, Seoul, and they're like, no, 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 not like that. Then you'd say it exactly the same way. You go, Seoul, and they go, yeah, that's it, that's perfect. I know, it's like one of my, sorry, I've just got to pause the dialogue. It's one of my favorite stories from my time living in Korea, where I got off of a train in Daegu, and I lived close to Siji was the name of the neighborhood, and there was an E-Mart there. So whenever I would get in a taxi, I would say Siji E-Mart juseyo, which just is like bad Korean for take me to the Siji E-Mart. I remember one time I got in a taxi and I said Siji E-Mart juseyo, and the guy was like Siji E-Mart, Siji E-Mart juseyo, Siji, and he was like, ah, I got it. And then he took me on like a 40-minute drive to a part of the city I'd never seen before and dropped me off at a different E-Mart. And he was basically, I don't know what he was saying, and that's my fault, but he was basically like, here you go. And I was like, CG E-Mart. And he was like confused, and then he went, oh, Shiji E-Mart. And I was like, yes, Shiji Imata. Because the S and the I sometimes have like an H or always have an H. My friend has the exact same story, but it's from Quebec, where he was at McDonald's and he ordered breakfast, and they asked him what drink he wanted, and he said orange juice, and they went like, quoi? And he went orange juice, and they said like, I don't know what you're saying, buddy. And he said orange juice, and they went, oh, juice d'orange. Oh, man. I'm not saying that we are in the right, by the way, for not speaking the language, but you're like, really? I messed up like one syllable? Bro, there's 2 E-Marts. There's one in Siji and one in Susonggu. Bro heard Siji E-Mart and said, I'm taking his ass to Susonggu. Come on, man. Also, the other one that I get corrected on all the time, Samjang. Samjang. Samjang juseyo? It's not Samjang. It's not Samjang. It's Samjang. Shit starts with 2 S's. One of them is not silent, apparently. Samjang. And the thing that always gets me is I say like Samjang, and they go, that's not right. It's Samjang. And I go, okay, Samjang. And they go, no, that's not it. Then I go, Samjang. And they go, perfect. You got it. And then I go, Samjang. And they go, no, you lost it again. And I'm like, I've said it the same way 4 times in a row. And you expect me to believe that I'm learning something here. Pretty fast piss. I think my flow rate was higher than usual. Not alarmingly slow, but definitely faster than usual. I installed the damn T1 line in my cock. Always at my PC, double clicking on my Mizouse. Upgrade my system at least twice a day. I'm strictly plug and play. I ain't afraid of Y2K. I'm down with Bill Gates. I call him money for short. I phone him up at home and I make him do my tech support. We are back with the dulls. Yes, the architect and the builder arrive from their escalator with a sense of purpose. It's true. I've been thinking about spellcheck.xyz all weekend, okay? Let's give this a chance. First, I got to verify that I'm not a robot. I am not a robot. It's that easy. Hopefully no robots are watching. I just gave them the secret trick. Holy, I just ruined the history of the human race. No! Dan got 7 of 15 today. That's frightening.
Acorn. A noun meaning the nut of the oak, usually seated in or surrounded by a hard woody cupule of indurated bracts.
Yes, the nut of the oak. Acorn.
Spikes. A noun meaning a very large nail. The term likely...
Yes, okay. Spikes.
Poisonous. A adjective meaning destructive, harmful.
Dan got 7 out of 15. Really?
When does it get hard?
Poisonous. A adjective meaning destructive, harmful. Poisonous. A adjective meaning destructive, harmful. Poisonous.
Hang on. I'm not trying to dunk on him for spelling, but we're already at 3 of 3, man.
Volcano.
I mean,
A
come
noun meaning
on.
a vent in...
Volcano.
Excellent. A adjective meaning
Mr.
very...
Burns ass. Excellent. Okay, next round.
Pelosity. A adjective meaning covered with usually soft hair.
That's BS.
Deciduous. Pelosity. A adjective meaning covered with usually soft hair.
Yep.
Pilosis originates from Latin,
Pilosis.
derived from pilus, which means hair. Pelosity.
Pelosity. Oh, no. I thought a pilus was like a Roman spear or something. That's 1. Hey, whoa. Just I gotta lose like all of the next ones to lose.
Deciduous.
Oh, and I
A
know
adjective
everything
meaning
about
falling
deciduous.
off or shed seasonally.
Deciduous. Streamer just went deciduous mode. He's played nothing but Super Auto Pets and Isaac for the last 2 months.
Goosander. A noun meaning common merganser. Agitprop. A noun meaning propaganda, especially political propaganda promulgated chief. Agitprop.
What?
Agitprop. A noun meaning propaganda. Knighted. A adjective meaning bright, lustrous. Latin nitidus means
What?
jaboom. A noun meaning a spar that forms an extension. Goosander. A noun meaning common merganser. The etymology of this word is unknown.
Goosemancer?
A noun meaning common merganser.
Common
The etymology
merganser.
of this word is unknown. Goosander. A noun meaning common merganser. The etymology of this word is unknown. Goosander. A noun meaning common merganser.
I don't know what a common merganser is.
Agitprop. A noun
yes,
meaning
okay.
propaganda.
That's what I make on Twitch.
Knighted. A adjective meaning bright, lustrous. Latin nitidus means shining, bright, or sleek. Knighted. A adjective.
Yeah, it seemed like the wrong knighted, but I don't know what the other one is spelled like.
Jaboom. A noun meaning a spar that forms an extension of the bowsprit. Jaboom. A noun meaning a spar that forms an extension of the bowsprit. Jaboom. A
Vine-
noun
can
meaning
somebody
a
edit the
spar
Vine
that forms
sound
an
in there?
extension of the bowsprit.
Jump.
A noun meaning a spar that forms an extension of the bowsprit. Jaboom. A
Jaboom.
noun meaning a spar that forms an
Okay. I'll see my results, please.
These are not real words. Jaboom, knighted, agitprop, goosander, not real words.
Pilosity is with an S. Okay. Goosander. Pretty close. I just got to hold the E. That's the Canadianness in me. Knighted. Is that really how that's pronounced? And jaboom. I think we did okay today. What was it? We got 4 wrong. We had 11 and 15. Certainly I can live with it. This website is called Spellcheck XYZ. I always like to just do one hard practice just to see. Our record is 20, okay?
Pulchritude. A noun meaning physical comeliness. Pulchritude is from Middle English, originated from Latin word pulcher,
Stop,
meaning
okay?
beautiful. Pulchritude. A noun meaning physical comeliness.
A
Pulchritude is from Middle English,
meaning
originated
physical
from Latin word
comeliness.
pulcher, meaning beautiful. Pulchritude.
He's correct. Physical comeliness. You've got quite a lot of pulchritude on your face. Go clean yourself up.
Mantua. A noun meaning a usually loose-fitting gown worn especially in the 17th and 18th centuries. Manteau, a French word for mantle, was modified to form the word you're spelling. Mantua.
He's a genius.
Outre. A adjective meaning violating convention or propriety. Bizarre. The word originates from Old French outre, meaning to go beyond or excess. Outre. A adjective meaning violating convention or propriety.
Outre.
Bizarre.
Okay.
Putsch. A noun meaning a secretly plotted and suddenly executed attempt to overthrow a government. Jacaranda. A noun meaning any of a genus, Jacaranda, of tropical American trees of the Bignonia family, with bipinnate leaves and panicles of showy, usually blue flowers. Jacaranda originates from Tupi jacarana, made jacaranda in Portuguese, then New Latin, jacaranda. A noun meaning
Yes!
ammonite. A noun meaning any of a subclass.
Okay, thank you, Minecraft. We have tied our record. Maybe we actually got one higher than our previous record.
Traitorous. A adjective meaning guilty or diapason. A noun meaning a burst of sound. Middle English from Latin and Greek, meaning the concord through all the notes. Diapason. A noun meaning
I
a
don't
burst
even
of
know
sound.
where to
Middle
start.
English from Latin and Greek,
on
meaning
this
the
one.
concord through all the notes. Diapason. A noun meaning a burst of sound. Middle English from Latin and Greek, meaning the concord through.
It was right. Holy cow. I was waiting for it to load and give me the summary.
Impenetrable.
Oh,
A adjective meaning incapable of being.
we're playing with house money now.
Codicil. A noun meaning a legal instrument made to modify an earlier will. Codicil comes from Latin codicillus, a diminutive of codex, via Middle English and Anglo-French. Codicil. A noun meaning a legal.
Honestly, thought that was a pretty good try. Codicil. Oh my God, it is Latin. Poltroon. There's no shot I was ever going to spell it like this goofy ass Roblox word. Sacerdotal. Avgolamono. We were real close. And outre. Outre. This is bringing out the dead. No, the lighting looks too 2000s pilled. 902. Low calories. Low calories. About time. The car has flipped over. One of the Chris Nolan Batman movies. The Dark Knight Rises. That's Jeremy Irons. This is Zack Snyder's Justice League. No, this is Batman versus Superman. Sorry, Batman v Superman. Nope, this is the Justice League. Or is this, maybe this is the fucking Flash, bro? I mean, I guess I'd be stupid not to type the Flash, right? Okay, we got it. I guess be careful what you wish for. For once, it wasn't like a 1970s Brian De Palma film. From 2016 to 2018, LeBron James helped the Cavs eliminate this team from all three playoffs, including 2 4-0 series sweeps. An East team, probably. Yes, that was good from 2016 to 2018. Atlanta Falcons. It's Toronto? That was like a B tier guess for me. Because I know they won in 2019, right? I'm not a fake Canadian. I just didn't know ball back then. Mao Zedong was a politician, Marxist theorist, and military strategist who led what country from its establishment? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Basketball question. How many dots are on a Rawlings orange regulation basketball? Politics question. What color is the sky on a sunny day? This would be the People's Republic of China. Okay. Well, it's kind of a tough question. He didn't really... I feel like that's a tough question, personally. The dude did not invent China. If anything, I thought that there was like that was the trick part of the question. With hosts such as Barbara Walters, this is The View. This is why Whoopi Goldberg has the EGOT. The 5th film in the franchise. This 2015 release and reboot made $400 million worldwide, but was a massive critical failure. What is Terminator Genesis? It started out with a kiss. It's Justin's least favorite song, Mr. Brightside. Pretty easy trivia today, honestly. We could have gotten this one, too. We probably were not getting that basketball, but we were like 50-50 on the other one. Holy cow. Please, the history question, 70% got it right. 30%. Do I look like I know what in the hell Mao Zedong is? I do want to say, though, it's kind of crazy. Why would someone be like, I'm excited to play a daily trivia game if they don't possess the knowledge of what country, like Mao Zedong, one of the most important figures of the 20th century, lived for? You know what I mean? Or which country he lived in? Shin Ramyun Big Bowl. I don't buy this, but I have to assume a 12-pack of Big Bowl Shin Ramyun is literally like $9.99. I mean, Big Bowl, that's probably like... The cups, when I lived in Korea, the cups were 80 cents. The bowls were probably 150 won, so like $1.50. I have a hard time believing this is going to be... But that was at the convenience store. You weren't paying Costco wholesaler prices there. So I got to feel like these are... I'm going to put you straight up at $11.99 USD for this. I think it's $1 a bowl. $12.99? $13.49? $14.49? It is $14.49. It's a little more expensive than I thought. That's pretty pricey. It's a little pricey, but it's still like, I mean, that's like $1.20, and I'm pretty sure the bowl is like 500 calories. Like that's, for calories per dollar, which is probably the way you should be evaluating, you know, instant flour noodles with dehydrated vegetable packages inside of them. That's a pretty good deal. Protein per dollar is more important. Well, it's fucking zero, okay? By the way, did you see the tweet that was like, everybody knows one guy who started weightlifting when he was 29 and says, vegetarianism sounds good, but as an athlete, I just don't think it would work for me. I'd get too tired working my job as a programmer. That tweet, I was like, he's got like 30% of my audience fucking down pat, man. I know like at least 4,000 of those motherfuckers. Where I'm like, I think cardio's good. And people are like, you don't need to do more than 8 minutes of cardio a day. It makes your gains go catabolic. And I'm like, I know you started doing 5-3-1 at age 32, brother. Can we stop LARPing here? As a vegetarian, that shit is so annoying. I will say, though, I support vegetarianism. I think I could pursue it myself, and did for like, I don't know, 6 months, 10 years ago. But when we went out for dinner at a friend's place, they cooked like a vegetarian couscous with some cauliflower in it. It was delicious. I loved it. 2 hours later, I was like, I gotta eat something before bed or I'm gonna wake up and be fucking starved. I'm gonna wake up with like a tummy ache. Meat is like, it's a real shortcut, man. If they threw like one chicken breast on that, I probably would have been good for the whole night. But without the chicken breast, I had to air fry like 7 frozen dumplings and eat them at 10 p.m. There were some beans. There were chickpeas in it too. It was like couscous, chickpeas, cauliflower, cilantro, some kind of, I think they poured like some vegetable stock over it and then mixed it all together and then like some chopped, it was really good. But I'm like, I'm also not used to that. Like they don't know that I'm a fucking freak. Like I look like a normal guy, but every time I sit down for dinner, I want to eat like 1,400 calories. They thought I was just they didn't know what kind of game I was bringing to the function. Which is fine. It's not their fault. I got to become like one of those guys who brings like my own meal every place I go. NL standing in the corner. They don't know I'm a freak. We know you're a freak. You use genuflect like 7 times in conversation. Weekend of August 16th, 2002. This is crazy. I might have seen a movie at the multiplex this weekend. This was the summer between 8th grade and 9th grade. I definitely saw Triple X, the Vin Diesel movie. I definitely saw like Die Another Day, I feel like came out maybe that September. Let's take a peek, okay? Sony Pictures, $83 million, fell off 50% in its second week, $83 million total. Actor 1, Vin Diesel. I was there at the first Cannes show in Cologne. I heard that your Vin is selling his turntables and buying guitars. I heard that your Vin is selling his guitars to buy turntables. I don't know if I saw it opening weekend, though. I saw it at the Cineplex Odeon on Gardner's Road in Kingston, Ontario, with 3 friends of mine. We went out and we saw the movie. Then we walked across the strip mall and ate at Montana's. And we all agreed that it was the best movie we'd ever seen in our entire lives. Stop thinking Prague Police, start thinking PlayStation. Touchstone Pictures, $150 million in its third week. That's a lot of money. Mel Gibson, 2002. Mel Gibson, okay, it's pre-Passion of the Christ. This is Science. I also saw that in theaters, now that I think about it. But that was at the Belleville Theater. You ever been to the Quinty AMC? Anyway. I also, when I saw Signs in theaters, there's a scene close to the end of the movie where you see the alien in the reflection of a television. The woman who was sitting behind me got so scared that she threw her drink like forward in between my and my dad's seat, and it like splattered on the seat in front of us. Formative memories. Okay. Universal opened to $14 million, starring Kate Bosworth. This little movie called Blue Crush. This is right in my Q zone, man. I'm sorry, that probably seems crazy, but you know, remember Blue Crush, the Kate Bosworth surfing movie with POD on the soundtrack? We are the youth of the nation. Miramax, $45 million second weekend. Alexa Penavega, This Must Be Spy Kids 2, The Island of Lost Dreams. So I'll tell you, number 2 actor on that is going to be Daryl Sabara. You already knew that, of course. And then New Line Cinema set $183 million in its fourth weekend. So it came out July 2002. It's too late to be Spider-Man 1, but it's going to be something in that. Oh, it's Gold Member. I should have known. New Line Cinema. It's Austin Powers and Gold Member. We were in the 93rd percentile today. Oh, we got a golden score. Pretty good. Not my highest score ever, but pretty good. That is right in my wheelhouse, man. Also, I saw 3 of these movies in theaters. That's crazy. Cine 2 Nerdle. You said Triple X before you even opened the first clue. That is true. That's a bit of a soul read. What was Spy Kids 2 like on the big screen? Me and all the other Daryl Sabara heads, we were pogging out of our gourd, man. I never saw that one, actually. What the fuck is the Croods, bro? Feel like How to Train Your Dragon is Jay Baruchel, who maybe was also involved with Year One and the Flintstones, because he was on Popular Mechanics for Kids. I simply don't know it. Oh, and you're right, Animated Caveman. Year One, the Croods, the Flintstones, Encino Man. I only know the Croods from that one picture where the app asks for phone permissions and they say, sure, fuck it, I don't care anymore. The Jeremy Renner app would like to access your microphone. Sure, fuck it. He's been through a lot.
Let's think. Let's do some more AAA stuff too.
Hello.
Yo, how's it going, man?
It's going well. How's it going with you?
I had a heartbreaking DD2 defeat today, but I'm slowly recovering. It still gets me, man. Even these years later, we still get so emotionally invested.
I hear you. Guy who has played 5,000 hours of Isaac and loses 1 in 5 runs now.
Yep.
Kind of embarrassed. I wasted my life, basically.
I like to feel like you've gotten some other benefits out of it.
Yeah,
If you're
okay.
just purely gauging it on the skill level of the game, and yeah, maybe not so much.
It's kind of embarrassing, though. I'm getting old, honestly. A little washed.
Well, let's get to it then. Welcome to Guess the Metacritic Score with Baer and Northernlion, everybody. We are going to have a little simpler this time around as compared to our Rotten Tomatoes game, as we're only going to have to guess one score instead of both the audience score and the official critics review score.
I love that because the critics score is understandable, but audience scores for video games are out of control.
Well, it's not even just video games. Like
it's everything. Okay.
You know the Please Don't Destroy SNL crew?
Yes.
Those sketch comedy kids. They put out their movie that has, I believe, like a 35% critics score on Rotten Tomatoes now, but it's like a 92 audience score.
Ooh.
So it's just the
Is it directed by Zack Snyder?
Judd Apatow, I think.
Oh, wow. Okay, well.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Let's do it, man.
Okay,
Starting
Balin
off with
Wonderworld.
Balin Wonderworld. Yeah, you remember this one, right?
Can I tell you something? I know nothing about this, except I think, wasn't this made by a game designer who is famous for another game?
Director Yuji Naka, if I'm going on. He's the co-creator of the Sonic the Hedgehog series. So yeah, you could say that.
Okay.
One could say that about Balin Wonderworld.
The other thing I know about it is that it was like a colossal failure, or at least was mercilessly mocked.
As the Wikipedia describes, it was a commercially unsuccessful product.
I gotta start. I think this was like one of the worst reviewed games of 2021.
Yeah.
This is different than Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes is easy because you just get the vibe of like whether or not something was likable. Metacritic, you're getting actually numbered scores, which is tough because like a lot of websites don't use the whole scale, like they have reasons they'll never give a game a perfect score, and they have reasons they'll never give a game like a 10. So I'm going to say...
Well, that's why we always say 6 and 7s. It's
exactly.
just a meme for a reason.
It's good if you're a fan of the genre. I think it's a 36.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna go 12, and I think I'm gonna stick with that. I'm trying it out, dude. I'm feeling like this is gonna be our experimental run here, and then
holy cow, a 12?
We'll establish a bar from this point. Holy cow! I cannot believe.
Is this right? 51.
51. Okay, I've got to completely realign my parameters. Dude, 12
is really. I mean,
only counts for one miss, but oh yikes! Wow.
36 is low, but 12 is like that's really low. I mean, 51 is really low. By the way, this is why I hate user reviews on every website.
Yeah.
Wongo. This game legitimately is fun. They give it a 10. It's way better than a lot of reviews indicate. It's more like a 7 or an 8, but I'm going 10 to counteract the negative review bombing, which was only done to counteract the positive review bombing.
F you stupid corporate S, accept the crap game for what it is, says Kiech with a 0 out of 10. So yeah,
0 out of corporate game. Even though Balin Wonderworld went woke, bro.
So I got one that I figure is probably going to spawn a very interesting discussion. Let's go with No Man's Sky. I played quite a bit of this.
You played quite a bit of this?
Yeah.
I
played enough when it first came out to, like gauge how it is, and back then was terrible. But I have played this multiple times after multiple updates since, and it's a very good game now. Like it is fully transformed to the point where it's just fun and good at this point.
This is not a knock on you at all, but this sentence is like how I know that this game is not for me. The game is built around 5 pillars.
Yep. Exploration,
survival, combat, trading, and base building. With the possible exception of combat sometimes. These are like 5 things I hate to see in every game that I play.
That they are almost always in every game you play as well, which might have a little something to do with it.
Especially all of them, but especially exploration and base building.
All right.
Duke Nukem forever.
You got one that you want to put out there?
Let me think.
Yeah.
Let me think about this.
Give the noodle a stir.
Trying to think. You know what? It's just I'm throwing this out based on nothing at all. Maybe
Sure.
because I'm interested. Well, when did Metacritic come to be?
That actually is a question I find myself asking a lot through the course of thinking of options for this. Because, yeah, and I don't know if, not only that, I'm not sure if all the games that I would be curious to find the Metacritic score of actually have enough reviews to have gotten a Metacritic score. So,
Okay, they're saying 2001. In that case,
really? Oh, my God.
Let's give this a chance. Let's do Perfect Dark Zero for the Xbox 360.
Oh, man, here we go. Oh, that's a fun one. All right, Perfect Dark Zero.
Have you ever played Perfect Dark Zero?
A minimal amount of Perfect Dark. I don't know if I played Perfect Dark Zero. Was that the second one, or was that just the full name of the first game?
That is the second one.
That's the second one.
You
Okay,
can
I
tell
don't think I
from the
played that.
Zero subtitle.
Right, yeah, of course. 2005.
2000 is
I
a
remember
launch
this
title,
cover art,
yeah.
too. Was this a launch title?
It was a launch title.
It was a launch title for
never
the
played it.
360, yeah.
I got my Xbox 360 like 2 years later.
Dude, this just seems like the perfect 7 out of 10 game. I think I'm just going to go ahead and swing for the fences with that. I'm going to call it a
You're
70
gonna call it a 70 even.
because this is just like, it's enough, you know? Like
I hear ya, yeah.
It'll get fans of the series. It'll look good in the ads for the 360. It's enough. And we'll give that a 70 on the board.
You notice she has a star tattooed on her neck?
She does. Yeah, I didn't notice that. Did she have that in the first game?
I don't think you ever see her.
Oh, that's a different direction.
So I never played Perfect Dark Zero. But I do recall that when Perfect Dark Zero came out, it was immediately considered inferior to the original, or at least not a worthy successor. But
Okay.
also, I feel like the launch titles for consoles in this generation were like kind of cooked. So I feel like this might have been like the killer app when the 360 launched, which is kind of crazy. You ever realize that when the PlayStation 2 came out, for like 6 months, the best game on it was Fantavision, a puzzle game where
And we act like
blow
it's a
up
new
fireworks?
thing for like new consoles to have shit libraries when they first launch. It's like this has always been the case, dude. Like there's never good games.
it
right
usually
away.
takes a while. The PS5, it's only 6 years old. It can still get there.
Yeah, Switch is making its way gradually after 7, right?
I remember one of my friends got an Xbox 360 when it launched. He played Call of Duty 2 and then like a Need for Speed underground game that had a mo-capped. Do you know who Brooke Burke is?
No.
She's the host of Ease Wild On.
Okay.
She was like in
Instead
the
of
game.
Mo-capped Brooke Burke.
Even then, like at age 17 or something, I was like, this is not ready.
Yeah.
But then he lost his mind when Oblivion came out. But anyway,
Yeah.
I think you're on the right track. I think reviewers would be like, compared to the other stuff that's available at this juncture, this is going to be in the 7s, I think. I'm going to take it a little higher. I'm going to take it to a 75.
Sure.
I think people are going to, when this came out, giving a game a 7 was like taking it out back and shooting it in the head.
Yeah, I had said 6 and 7s before, but it's more 7s and 8s where 7s are, like you better be fucking careful. Exactly. Perfect Dark Zero, released November 2005 on the Xbox 360, currently sits at a generally favorable Metascore of 81.
81?
81. Wow.
That's how you know that reviews have gotten like harder.
Yeah.
Because nobody talks about this game ever. Also, look at
75
the
reviews.
look at the image, man. Is that
That's 1,000% that someone took a photo of the game sitting on their counter.
It's so good.
And then they photoshopped in the 360 banner on top.
Also, I love that it's Xbox 360 Platinum Hits, which means it sold like 1 million copies or something.
Yeah,
But then
dude, holy
this
cow.
is the limited collector's edition. It's like, it's one of the most popular games on the platform, but this is a limited edition version of it.
Special. You better get it now. You got some 10 out of 10s on this bad boy, dude. It's triumphant visuals, amazing sound and music, tense and
Triumphant
engaging
visuals.
storyline, fabulous array of weapons and gadgets. Do you even play as the lady?
I believe so.
Because I got a screenshot of someone in their first person view looking at her.
Maybe that's multiplayer. What, do you see this
yeah.
review from B-Bog? What TF is this? They managed to turn one of the greatest games on the N64 into just another generic FPS. Joanna Dark looks like a cheap prostitute.
Yeesh.
Does she really? I mean,
A triumphant cheap prostitute.
you can only see, yeah, exactly. You can only see like, well, like an eighth of her face or something on the image
Stands
here.
as an
Seems, bro, she's
example.
just doing her job. Storyline is kind of a
His name is
joke.
V-Bog.
Exceedingly bad aiming.
Oh boy.
Things have a cool, sleek look to them, which is nice, but some things shimmer. That shouldn't. This review is from 2017. It says maybe pick it up. Maybe pick it up for a couple of bucks if you're bored. This game
I
was
think that's maybe the only way you can get it at this point.
it's 12 years old by the time you wrote the review, man.
Yeah, goddamn, dude. All right. You got one you want to do? I got one rattling around in my brain, actually. That
Okay.
For some reason, I am just stuck on Fusion Frenzy,
Okay, all right.
which I think was released post 2001.
Yeah, that seems like a 2000 and literally a 2002 banger in my head.
Oh, it's actually 2001.
Because
Be a
this,
good test.
do you have the same experience with Fusion Frenzy where
I feel like everybody has the same experience with Fusion Frenzy.
when I bought my Xbox, there was like it came with Halo and also a demo disc for Fusion Frenzy or something.
That's the thing. It was what I was going to say is like everybody just ended up with it. No one knows how they got Fusion Frenzy, but everybody's got it.
I never purchased Fusion Frenzy, but I played so much of it. I
Yeah.
mean, the Twisted System is one of the greatest Mario Party type games of all time, where you climb the tower and then like you either have to duck or jump.
Yep.
But I know about Fusion Frenzy. I know that it is well liked by the audience, but was maligned by critics at the time of its release.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that. I also didn't realize they made a sequel.
I think that
Fusion
one was
Frenzy
even
2 on the
more
360.
hated.
It looks terrible just based on the box art.
I feel like Fusion Frenzy at release probably got like, I'm going to say it was like at a 67 on Metacritic.
It's even higher than I'm wanting to go for it. But I think I'm going to try to change up my approach here and maybe go against my initial instinct since it's not been serving me well so far. Let me go with like, maybe this is the wrong time to do it, but I'm going to say like a 74.
74, okay.
Yeah, still pretty mediocre, but you know, I feel like we're still back in that era where
You couldn't give a game a
willing to be
6.
as you're not willing to be as critical because you know it's a game and it was probably free. I think for a lot of people too. I think it was like a built-in
That takes the sting out
with
of it
the
for
release. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is upsetting.
I can't even find Fusion Frenzy.
Fusion Frenzy on the original Xbox, released November 2001, sits at a mixed or average Metascore of 70, meaning that you beat me by a goddamn 1, and you get the point, as your guess was 67 and mine was 74.
What can I say?
And I hate it.
I know Fusion Frenzy.
Apparently.
This is kind of my era. I genuinely, I swear it to you, I went to school from 9th grade to at least 11th grade, went to school, would come home and like just go to Rotten Tomatoes or Metacritic.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
just look at it, just browse when you used to just browse the internet. And then I would just be like, you know, it just the information just gets kind of rolled up into your brain and you don't remember the exact number, but it kind of sticks in there.
Do you recognize that you are an anomaly as far as your ability to retain information?
I think that what happened is that everybody else was like out having fun. So then I would just be like playing NHL 2K4, and then like when the opponent paused, I would just be like, oh, I wonder what this game has on Metacritic, and type like, you know, MX versus ATV Unleashed into Metacritic.
Ooh, that's a good one.
You don't want, that's going to be,
You remember that one,
that's
right?
a
Yeah, you remember
77.
that dead on.
Maybe in the low 80s, honestly.
Oh, here, let me find out. MX versus ATV Unleashed. Low 80s is very close. Yeah, 79. All right. Well, glad we didn't do that one.
Okay.
You got anything you want to go for?
Yes. The original Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
The most
Very good.
photorealistic game that has ever been released in history.
I know you've played plenty of Splinter Cell. How much of the original Splinter Cell, though, did you play?
I bought it. It was originally an Xbox exclusive, and then I think later it became multi-platform. And there were huge debates, because I only had a PS2 at the time. There were huge debates over which version was the best, and the Xbox version won because of the lights on the dude's freaking head, if I remember correctly. Like the PS2 just couldn't handle the 3 green lights on top of Sam Fisher's head.
They were really processor intense.
I didn't have the patience to beat it, though. I think I only beat like a few levels, and then I was like, screw this, I'm going back to Madden.
I think that a lot of the way that I played other games was influenced by the Splinter Cell franchise. Like, I think the reason that I approach every outpost in Far Cry with the full intent of not being discovered by a single person is Splinter Cell based, because I had so much fun doing that in these games. Like, it scratched so many itches for me of being able to be a sneaky boy, never discovered, accomplish the objective, and get the hell out of there. It's like, it's such a good time.
And I can't stress enough how good it looked. At the time, it was like better
Triumphant.
than real life. This is the triumphant visuals.
Yes.
They had real shadows in this.
This was one of the games that put Ubisoft on the map, I think.
I can't think
all the way
of a huge Ubisoft game from before.
Well, it was like
this.
it was Prince of Persia after that, and then of course Far Cry came in 2005. I think this was the first one.
Rayman, yeah, but only that like one kid in class who would like chew on his sleeve was playing Rayman.
Yeah,
back in the day.
I mean, that's certainly.
I'm sorry for the personal attack, but you would be like, hey, you were talking to your friends about like Super Mario 64, and then some kid would be like, hey, have you played Rayman 2?
Yeah.
You're like, they won, okay? Rayman is like a cult classic now, but at the time we were like, get a load of this guy. Let me go first on this one to put you in an advantageous position.
Sure.
I recall, and let's just say that we're going to go with the Xbox version because that was the original one. Because I can't be held responsible for like if you click on the Nokia N-Gage port. I remember this being perhaps after Halo, the must-own console exclusive when it was exclusive. I remember it being a critical darling.
Yes.
I believe that this will be at 92. 92.
Oh, God.
Look at those God rays on the cover, man.
Yeah. Triumphant. You got a 92 locked in there. Let me go with a... I'm going to do it, man. I'm going to go bold again. Let me go with a 95.
You know what? I think that's a good play.
I think so, too.
I can't think of what you would criticize. I'm not saying it's a perfect game, but I can't think of what you would criticize Splinter Cell for.
Yeah. I'm outraged. I am...
Oh, no.
I am livid. I can't believe this is happening. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell released November 2002
for the Xbox
on the original Xbox. This is the Xbox page. Universal acclaim. Metacritic must play. 93.
93.
2 points away from my guess. 1 point away from yours. Ryan gets the point again, for God's sake.
Yo, why are you biting his lips like that, though?
He do be biting.
He just needs a.
He's doing something else, dude.
He needs the backwards hat. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. But keep the goggles.
This review from Rewired Mind. My surroundings are resplendent, yet my path
Oh
to
my
success lies in shrouding them with darkness. It's true.
Man, I was feeling so good about that 95 guess, too. Only loses to the 92.
Oh, dude, they were firing shots. Splinter Cell's low-key approach to plot development is a refreshing change for those of us who would rather play our games than watch them, like Metal Gear Solid 2 for that matter.
Just straight up naming names. Oh, snap. Hideo reads these.
Team
Dude, don't they know that?
Team Xbox has joined the side of the Splinter Cell Stealth Wars on the side of Splinter Cell.
Fearless. That's a good game.
Y'all ready for this? Panzer Dragoon Orta.
Yo, here we go. Okay, that's even better.
I own this.
Fucking wonderful game name, in my opinion.
I will regale you with my Panzer Dragoon Orta story.
Please, yes.
I did have my Xbox by this point. It was the summer. I don't know when it came out, but the summer as I finished 9th grade, I said, I'm not going to get a job this summer. I'll just get a video game instead. Something to keep me busy. I bought Panzer Dragoon Orta because I knew the reviews were amazing. People said this is a must-play game. Took it home. It's 2 hours and 7 minutes long.
Holy cow, really?
So
I did not know
there's
that.
5 levels, I think. I beat it and then beat it again. And then the next morning woke up and beat it like 3 more times. And then I played Panzer Dragoon Orta. Anyway, so after I finished the game like 5 times, I was like, this is not going to work for the next 2 months. So I went back to Electronics Boutique and bought World Series Baseball 2003. I believe that this has an 89 on Metacritic.
It's that one digit far enough away for me to want to stick with my initial guess. If
Okay.
that's where you're going to go, because I'm going to go with a 91.
91. I remember it being up there. Like, people are saying this is crazy, but I'm telling you, this was a very well-liked game when it came out.
Brother, this is wild. Panzer Dragoon Orta, released January 2003 on the Xbox. Sitting at universal acclaim with a score of 90. That's going to be a point for both of us, bud.
A point for both of us.
That's an even split.
Please tell me there are some user reviews that are like, this is 47 seconds long.
This is, in my opinion, the best original Xbox game. One could say the 2 Halo games are better, but I definitely cannot argue with that.
Listen, bro, Halo 2 clears Panzer Dragoon Orta. No disrespect to Sega, but
it's a fun and unique game, but can be difficult. Once I'm actually able to get past the 4th level, I'll get back to you. Now, you've beaten this game 5 times. Can you confirm that the 4th level is the most difficult?
I remember nothing about it at all. One of those games that keeps sucking me back in to play on harder levels. That's from GamerWeb Xbox.
Wow, okay. That's a
little
exaggerated.
They got a 60 from FHM.
Oh, no.
This will bring you back, man. The Gentleman's Lingerie magazines were reviewing Panzer Dragoon Orta, and honestly, they're kind of cooking. Beautiful and inspired, but too short. I think that's fair. I wouldn't give it a 60, but man. Holy, yeah. FHM was like when you're too mature for Maxim.
Right.
Instead of like top 100 hottest women in the world, they're like the 50 most glamorous beauties.
The 50 most educated, elegant ladies. All right. Well, how about Halo 5?
Okay, I have absolutely no idea. People may not know that you are an ex-Halo champion.
I played the game competitively for, let's go with probably like 3 years.
Back in the era where you had a special backpack to carry your Xbox around, the controllers and the power brick.
I had the Astro A40s. We had the daisy chaining. We each had the exact same ViewSonic 24-inch monitor, the gunner glasses, the whole fucking 9 yards, dude. I was all in. I was MLG or bust. And then I went to a local tournament with the best team that I had up to that point. We got into the finals where the winners of that tournament would receive free travel and admission to the next MLG event. So it was legit. We got to the finals. We lost the first game, won the second game. I made the choice for our squad because the winner of the second game got to choose what map the third game was on.
Yeah.
I decided we should play against them on the map they beat
Blood
us
Gulch.
on. Well, that would have been a better choice, but I wanted revenge. Like I was, in my mind, I was like, we can beat them on that map, dude. Let's do it. They kicked our asses. We got this shit kicked out of us. I did terribly, and that was the moment where I was like, I shouldn't do this anymore.
Oh,
I
man,
don't
that
have
is
what
funny.
it takes.
But imagine if you ran it back.
I know, dude. It would have been pretty wild. All right, so anyway, Halo 5. Halo 5 was certainly not a game that I played competitively. In fact, I played very, very little of Halo 5.
Yeah, I didn't play any of. Well, I'll give you my quick Halo experience.
Yeah.
Played through the first one many times. Even got the janky like pre-Xbox Live Xbox Connect setup where you could play online through GameSpy.
Yeah.
Halo 2, played one level of the campaign and said, nah, it's not for me. Played the multiplayer for 2,000 hours, if I had to guess. The Halo 3, I committed fraud to play the Halo 3 demo. When I bought my Xbox, it came with a pack-in of a Splinter Cell game that I then took to Walmart and said, my friend gave me this for my birthday, but I already have it. Can I get store credit? And they were like, we don't wrap games like that here. And I was like sweating through my shirt. I was like, I don't know what to tell you. He told me he bought it here. And then he like called his manager, and his manager was like, yeah, it's fine. Took that store credit, got Crackdown exclusively to get the Halo 3 demo that was on the Crackdown disc.
Yes, sir.
Played the demo for like 2 rounds, and like one dude dropped one of those dome shields, and I said, fuck this, man. Halo's washed.
Hilariously, that was the opinion of, I think, the majority of Halo fans back in the day. It's like, fuck this bubble shield shit.
At least
This isn't
Crackdown was
Halo.
good, because I was, and then like nowadays, Halo 3 is considered like, I don't know, like the
It's
last
like the golden
masterpiece.
child.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, Halo 3 was probably the game that I had the most fun playing competitively. Like, Halo 2 competitive was good too, but Halo 3 competitive was a great time.
I'm willing to admit that I was just wrong, honestly. I think literally what happened is just one dude dropped a bubble shield and I was about to kill him. And I was like, they're out of ideas. So, well, you got to go first on this one, which is good because I have no idea how Halo went after Halo 3.
I also won a local Halo tournament and won a copy of Alone in the Dark on the Xbox 360, which I immediately also turned into Walmart for StarCraft.
Yo! Walmart customer service deck. They didn't know that they were financing the next generation.
How about the new Gollum game?
Okay.
Speaking of not so great ones,
Gollum?
This was what was it called
software.
Gollum software. That's
No,
gotta be
Gollum is a
That's
wiki
wiki
software
What the hell?
using
That's
Git as
interesting.
the back-end storage mechanism. Okay. It's
Came
funny
out
that these
a few months
games
ago.
are like, there's such crapshoots, right? Like
Right.
some movie tie-in games you would never expect to be good are great. Like the Chronicles of Riddick game.
Battle for Middle Earth, the 2015 Lord of the Rings releases, I want to say, which this is from literally the same franchise. those
And
are
even like the
beloved.
Lord of the Rings games for like the PS2 Xbox generation.
Yeah,
were good.
or like they had like actually like impressive multiplayer, like co-op.
My only thing is
pretty
they started at the Two Towers, but they narratively started the game around the Battle of Helm's Deep. I always thought they should make a Fellowship of the Ring game where you just go around like eating cheese and riding horses and like, you know, talking to Tom Bombadil. I get that they wanted to get the action going because that's kind of what the games were built around, but they could have set it up with a Fellowship of the Ring game where you're just hanging out
Fresh
in
fucking
the Shire for a
pocket
bit.
protector, dude, Jesus. I would be pretty surprised if this did not set a new low bar for us here. Like we've gotten Balin, we've gotten Duke Nukem forever, but this was like
Everybody
this
hated
was
this.
trashed. Yeah, there was not a positive voice to be found about this game.
Can I, without really trying to insult our colleagues, but can I say something about streamers that always makes me laugh?
No, I like streamers.
All right, well, I'll keep it to myself
I prefer you
then.
didn't insult them. No, you can say it, I guess.
I think that like there's some streamers out there, and it's not like a big deal, but they're like, you know, I wish there was like less toxicity in the industry, like the gaming industry. Like these games are made by real people that, you know, like we should take them seriously and we should treat them with decorum. But then as soon as Gollum came out, they're like, this game's so fucked, I have to play it immediately. 24-hour marathon Gollum stream. I have to see just how bad this is. Which is fine because it's funny, but there is a part of me every time where I'm like, I don't think you can have it both ways.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, like,
Just embrace the
that's just-
toxicity. Like don't have to be rude to people, but just be like, you know, don't pretend to be like the nice guy of the industry. And then when something garbage comes out, be like, let's mock this for fun.
But in situations like this, the people that made this game have to know it's bad.
Oh,
right?
I have to imagine.
And like they probably are able to take it a little tongue in cheek as far as that's concerned. But also, I like to believe that discourse is never intended to be malicious. You know, like there's never a message behind that is meant to be the people that made this should feel bad about themselves for producing this product. You know, like it's almost always just trying to chase the dragon of the hype generated around the release. You know, like they're hardly even participating in the discourse. They're trying to benefit from it.
I agree. Like I mean, I feel like you should be able to criticize like a piece of media without having to put the caveat that's like, I hope everyone involved with this loses their jobs.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like I feel like that's just assumed when in reality it's almost never the case. Generally unfavorable. Oh, I finally got one, dude. Let's go with a 33.
33?
Overall.
What? This game's not that bad.
1.2 user score.
That is pretty bad.
70 ratings. God dang.
I feel like you could probably make like a good game out of anything. Two things. The RTX on overlay on the trailer is killing me right here. But secondly, I really feel like there's like an issue with this game from conception. No one's ever read Lord of the Rings or watched the movies and been like, I want to play as Gollum. Like a little freak who's in the shadows and eating raw fish straight out of the stream and stuff like that.
I've heard that too, but like, I don't know. I think there could be something there. I think that like the idea for this game is not entirely flawed.
Really?
I think that, like the story of Gollum is not good. Like that's an uphill battle because it's just fucking sad and horrible. It's like everything that happens to this creature is the most depressing stuff you can imagine, but like his perspective is unique at least. Like I don't want to go back to it for it too hard because I recognize that like, you know, there's really not a lot to go off here, but like that at least is I think something that could justify the pitch meeting, you know, of like no one's seeing it through his eyes, but at the same time, yeah, there's not a lot else going for it.
I feel like I want to be 3 characters from the Lord of the Rings. 4.
Oh, let me guess. Well, is it? I guess Frodo. Fine.
No, I'm Frodo's.
You
not
don't want
one
to be
of them.
Frodo. Okay, good. Yeah, I thought it wouldn't be Frodo. You're gonna be the Boromir.
Yes, in the first movie.
Right, and then Gandalf,
of course,
and then you want to be Sauron.
I would not put Sauron in there, but I can understand.
Okay, Gimli,
of course,
and then Samwise.
No Samwise either.
No hobbits to speak of.
I would say Gimli, Legolas, Aragorn or Boromir, and Gandalf.
Yeah, that checks out.
You know what? We have to now do this game, but I need chat to remind me what it is. In 2012, there is a Lord of the Rings MOBA for consoles that came out.
The Hobbit is a critically acclaimed wonder film by hip-hop producer Peter Jensen, later adapted as a children's novel and finally now as a Doba video game. Play as midget Frodo Hobbit. The whole point of the game, from what I understand, is to take the ring to the other side of the map because that's where the Volcano Canyon is. Only there can the ring be destroyed. There's a breathtaking 5-man roster. Play as Gandalfless. Play as Lord of the Rings. It's kind of like League of Legends if instead of people it was developed by a horde of rats. You get the signature rat aesthetic from the graphics. Controlling this character harkens back to the Ratatouille game for Xbox in that you were controlling a rat. This game is a rat game. In what scenario are Gandalf and Sauron on a team fighting against Smeagol? What could they possibly be fighting over? The last fucking piece of cheese?
Guardians of Middle-earth.
Ah.
Lord of the Rings, Guardians of Middle-earth. It's hard to find on Wikipedia. I'm going to blow your mind, maybe, or I will lightly surprise you. I played Guardians of Middle-earth, the Lord of the Rings MOBA, when it came out, and it was kind of fucking good.
Is this the only MOBA you've ever played?
No, I played like 900 hours plus of Dota 2.
Oh, okay.
And Pokemon Unite. And Magica Wizard
Oh,
Wars.
yeah, I forgot about
and
Unite, dude.
I played
Unite
it.
was pretty fun for a little bit there.
I played Heroes of the Storm probably like 50, 60 hours.
I had MOBA and MMO confused in my head for some reason.
MMOs, you're right, I have not really touched.
Yeah, okay. Okay. That makes more sense.
But this, I like MOBAs.
Lord of the Rings MOBA, dude. That's wild.
The problem is that MOBAs turn you into Gollum. They turn you into a little demon.
No, I do, without a fragment of a doubt in my mind, have complete confidence that MOBA gamers are the worst. Like, all competitive gamers are bad, but MOBA gamers are a special breed of terrible.
I think it's just like it turns you.
It does. Yeah, no, like I could feel the brain poison the more that I would play League, dude. Like, it was bad.
Because it's so easy to just blame everything on your teammates.
Yeah.
Like, at least in a fighting game, you either blame like the game or your opponent. You know, you might be toxic towards your opponent, but like in League, you lash out and hurt the people you love.
Yeah, no one's talking shit to the enemy team. It's all your team.
Yeah, everyone is like a Benedict Arnold. They like in team chat, they're like, "You suck, you fucking horrible. Let's feed." And then in all chat, they're like, "Can you believe these other guys on my team, guys? Guys, do you want to stack up after this? I think I could really use some guys like you." Like, it's such horrible energy. Did you know they made a Dead Island MOBA as well?
Yeah, I remember that. That was not successful from what I recall.
I believe that's true.
That seems like a safe bet.
Why? Well, the MOBAs were insanely popular, and Dead Island existed, so I guess it was like you gotta,
MOBAs,
do something.
Battle Royale of like 2013 to 2015, dude. Everybody wanted to make a MOBA.
They were making a MOBA out of everything. Yeah.
I want to give this a 70. I'm going to sit with a pat hand here, or average.
Well, I think that you are on the right track for sure.
Yeah.
I seem to recall that nobody liked Guardians of Middle-earth as much as I did. It was, just spinning a yarn here. I'm very nostalgic for this era of gaming. When, for like a while, indie games and like mid-tier games, once a week on Wednesday, they would all come out on Xbox Live Arcade. And you would be able to see like what's coming up next week and be like, oh, maybe that'll be good. And then like sometimes it actually kind of was. And it was like $15 or $20. And, it was a good era.
It wasn't arcade, but it was like the Xbox Live Indie something or other that they had for a little bit.
Xbox Live Indie games? Yeah.
I
so
think
the arcade was like AAA indie stuff mostly, and then Xbox Live indie games, like anybody could basically.
That's where you found the shit. Like, I made a game with zombies in it. And
Yeah,
like
exactly.
The $1 releases. Yeah, that was a nice.
I played a lot of straight garbage on that for sure.
True.
There was some good stuff though. Like the team that made
it existed back then.
The team that made I made a game with zombies in it also made Salt and Sanctuary.
Really?
The
That's a
the
fun
2D Dark Souls
tidbit.
game.
I did not know that. That's cool.
Anyway, I don't know. I think 70 is
where
really
you
good.
landing here?
I'll put you at 62.
Sure. Released on the Xbox 360, December 2012. Mixed or average Metascore of 71. That's a streak for Baer.
I
Oh my
should have had
God.
more confidence in myself.
Oh my God, I'm back. Score currently sits at Baer 5, NL 9. I'm in it. I'm
Dude,
still
the
there.
audience loved it. Anybody reviewing it in the current era?
Can you sort these by most recent?
I don't
recently
think
added.
so. Dude,
Most
this is
recent
crazy.
review-
Oh, you can?
What's up?
Okay.
Yeah. It's February 2014. Yeah, it was a
Wow.
while back.
It was too beautiful to live.
So
I
there's a
also,
lot
it
of
was like,
connection issues.
it probably had some problems with the lore too. Like you'd have like Gandalf going mid versus Frodo and stuff like that. It was just a little tonally dissonant for sure, but let's go.
All right, you're up.
How about a little game? They're all little games apparently.
Just tiny little baby games.
And it's by the name of Super Mario Strikers.
Okay, yeah. Very interesting.
I'm
guessing you've played this.
no.
No, okay.
I didn't own a GameCube because I thought it was for babies. And I was 14 years old. I was no baby. I was nearly a fully grown man.
Grown ass boy.
So instead, my ass skipped the GameCube. No Beautiful Joe, no Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem,
Heck of a library, man. Yeah, you passed out a lot of good stuff.
no Pikmin 1, and no Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. My ass rejoined Nintendo for the serious grown-up console, the Nintendo Wii. I feel like in the GameCube era, reviewers were throwing heat at Nintendo.
Really?
They had. I believe that there was a small anti-Nintendo bias back then, because this was in the era of edginess, and the Xbox had the perception as like the grown-up console, and then the PlayStation 2 had the consensus as like the blockbuster console, and the GameCube was like, Nintendo, what are you doing making this all ages, family-friendly stuff? So I think that they got hit a little bit as a result of that, and I'm going to say that this got a 77 consensus.
And then those dumbasses over at Nintendo decided to double down on their family-friendly variety, and what do you know? All of a sudden, they make the world's best-selling video game console.
That is crazy, though. That the Switch is the best-selling video game console.
No, I was talking about the Wii.
Oh, well, they did it twice.
That's true, isn't it? Yeah. I
Has
guess
the
so.
Switch? Am I stupid? Has the Switch?
I feel like it goes Wii and then PS2.
Really?
Let me look. Oh, it's actually PS2 is number one.
PS2's number one.
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Wow. And then, oh my God, DS.
Ah, that doesn't count. It's for babies.
It is Switch after that though. It goes PS2, DS, and then Switch. The Wii is below the PS4. What?
It doesn't count as a console unless you can pick it up with one hand, or if you
Yes.
can pick it up with one hand. Sorry. So the DS is out.
That's still wild to me that PlayStation has 3 consoles that sold more than the Wii. I thought the Wii was like far and away. I thought that was like the Tetris of units moved.
Where's the Switch compared to the
Switch is at 144.
140?
Or sorry, 132. 132 million units sold
That's
for the Switch.
crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's nutty. GameCube, meanwhile, 21.74 million units.
Embarrassing.
Yeah. I'm going to go with, oh, sorry, you guessed it.
I said
one already,
77. Yeah.
right? You said 77, okay. Oh, boy. That puts me in an awkward spot again. I think I'm going to go with like a, you know what? Let's take a chance on this one, too. I'm going to go with an 83.
83. Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and take a stab at critics loving this one for some reason. Super Mario Strikers on the GameCube. You son of a bitch.
76, huh?
There was nothing to be done. Super Mario Strikers, a 76 Metascore. Yeah.
Dude, I'm
Right
loving
there,
this old school trailer from GameSpot too. I guess it's not a trailer; it's probably a review. Look at
You've gotten,
this.
I think you've gotten 4 now, 1 point away, and I feel like you got 1 dead on too.
I guarantee that, I don't know if you have this video playing in the background, but I guarantee it's like Nintendo has returned with another crack. Following the success of Mario Tennis on the N64, they take their crack at the pitch in the game of football with Super Mario Strikers.
Yeah, no, you're straight up narrating.
One moment, please. Give it a second.
Sure.
Nope, there's no narration at all.
Wow. It's just a 1 minute clip from GameSpot.
Yep.
Huh, all right.
This is so funny, too. You know that GameSpot is a different era, okay? They probably had like 3 people on staff, and their job was to like get files from game developers and publishers, open it, put their watermark in like the bottom corner, even though they didn't make it at all, and then upload it to their website with the watermark on it, like as if they made the screenshot. Like, what? Why were we doing this?
It was definitely a different era.
You worried? What do you mean you're worried about someone stealing like your screenshot, bro? You didn't make Mario Strikers. Like, what are you doing?
There were like multiple large channels dedicated to almost entirely that style of content, which was wild to me.
Dude, my kid, so she has an iPad. Her favorite thing to watch right now is Mario Party gameplay, but it's just the computer playing against itself. And then the dude running the channel has like modded in these jank ass like Kermit the Frog avatars and like Cookie Monster and stuff like that, and like Mickey Mouse.
It's like the Mugen of Mario.
It is. It's like kind of like SaltyBets for her. Like they're so busted. Like Kermit the Frog's arms are like 8 times longer than his body. It's like,
oh, dude, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't watched plenty of SaltyBet. I can kind of get down with that. Like,
it
that's
makes
probably
sense.
Entertaining as shit.
And I'm like, in terms of content, like that a 3-year-old could be watching. Like, it's basically just sports. Like,
right? Exactly.
It's not like it's rotting their brain. But what pisses me off is that you can see like the channel stats. Some of these channels have like 8 million subscribers, and I'm like, you motherfuckers, you know,
dude. The fucking Skibbity Toilet guy has got like 1 billion views a month or something like that. Like, it's insane.
Ain't nothing. He deserves. He's an artist.
Oh yeah, no, like those videos are unironically pretty good.
Okay, I don't know if I go that far.
No. Listen, there is some production value to the most recent episodes of Skibbity Toilet. I stand firmly, proudly on that hill. Man. That's straight up.
Did I tell you that on Halloween, some kids came to our house dressed as cameraman from Skibbity Toilet?
That's great.
And I went, oh, you're cameraman. And they were like, whoa, do you know what that is?
You were aware, yeah.
Yeah.
You just got bumped up a few cool points for sure.
They were like, you know what that is? And I was like, yeah, of course. It's Skibbity Toilet. And they were like, wow.
I love that.
And then my wife was like, what's Skibbity Toilet? And I was like, don't look it up.
Oh, brother.
Don't look it up.
All right. Well done. Yeah, you beat me 11-6.
Thank you.
Well played. This was fun.
Thanks for setting it up. I feel like I know games a lot less than I know movies. Like movies, I felt like I had it cold.
Yeah.
Games, I'm like it's a crapshoot.
The thing is like the score was closer here, but not only that, like our guesses were much closer. Like I was missing by like 1 or 2 points on several of these, so that felt like I was at least in the contest.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I learned something about Halo 5.
I learned about the Lord of the Rings MOBA.
Dude, they should,
new information.
Honestly, does anybody have the source code for that can run like a server for that on their own? I would love to go live with Guardians of Middle-earth tomorrow. Honestly, my Gandalf mid was kind of insanely goated.
Oh, shit.
I was CSing up a damn storm mid with Gandalf because he's ranged. And, you know, he's kind of a glass cannon.
Seems like a mid.
He goes mid. That's what he does. He's a wizard.
Well, apparently the game was mid, too, unfortunately.
Actually, it had an 80 on Metacritic, which is
right. Yeah,
universal,
that was one of the better ones.
Universal acclaim.
A Metacritic must play.
Oh, man.
All right. That was a good time, man. We should do something like this again soon.
Absolutely. But books next.
Go for a good read.
Oh, man.
All right. Later, man.
Later. By the way, I didn't know that you guys knew Kino Music. When I made that presidential doodles joke where I said they forgot Jimmy Carter and then I posted the album art for Emergency and I by the Dismemberment Plan, I honestly thought I was posting that for 71 likes. It crossed 1,000. People were saying I didn't know Egg liked good music. You guys don't know about Emergency and I by the Dismemberment Plan? Did you know that the dude from the Dismemberment Plan is like a software developer? They reunited for like one tour, and then dude said, screw this, I'm going to go like program some ones and zeros. You think they got room for one more? Do you remember your programming era? Of course I do. I talked about it a lot during Islands of Insight. Were it not for my associate's diploma in software development, I would be even worse at puzzles. At least when I tried to solve puzzles before... Oh, hang on, no problem. When I tried to solve puzzles pre-programming, I basically could only look at the puzzle and be like, what do I do? I couldn't build an algorithm for how to solve a puzzle. I would just be moving pieces around and be like, am I closer or further away? Am I closer or further away? Am I closer? Am I closer or further away? Am I closer? Like, it was a horrible way to do puzzles. Now, at least, I can be like, I'm doing this stupidly. The steps of the puzzle are this, and then I do them wrong. But anyway. But you got good at chess. How? You just memorize the good moves. No disrespect, Magnus Carlsen. It's also pretty easy to be... This is not a boomer take. It's actually the opposite. I have like sympathy for the younger generation. Everything gets harder all of the time. It seems hard when you're doing it, but like in 10 years, it's probably going to be harder. Like you might think that chess is easier because now you have access to like the whole world playing online chess and YouTube tutorials and, you know, training tools and stuff like that. But that increased access to information and playing has actually meant that people have also, everybody else has access to that stuff too, so the level of competition is rising. Like most of the fact that I was good at chess was 2000 to 2004. Like other kids in my demo didn't know what the fuck they were doing. Like you would play the best kid at like a rival elementary school and they would still be trying to do like scholar's mate on you and you'd be hitting them with like the Najdorf variation of the Sicilian defense. They like didn't know what to do. Like you basically knew that you won the game by the time it was like move 4. Occasionally you'd run the Najdorf and then some dude would hit you with the Alapin and you'd be like, oh shit, I'm cooked. He's better than I am. But the thing, you might be like, yeah, that's true, it's hard now. But the thing is, when I was doing it, it was as hard as it had ever been. It's only easy in hindsight. When I was doing it in 2002, everybody was probably like, oh, you should have started in 1982. Nobody even knew how the pieces moved. And it's never going to be easier than it is right now. You might be like, it's hard as fuck now. Yeah, but in 10 years, it's probably going to be even harder. Everyone's going to have like a digital Levi Rossman on their Apple Vision Pro that's like, you sure about that one? You sure you want to touch that piece? We should return to Monkey. Okay, I am going to send you to my wife's stream and enjoy yourself. And I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Have you seen Slackers? I don't think I can imagine any other streamer who might have seen it. Have I seen Slackers? What a ridiculous question. I love you, but I hate you, which brings to mind how much I love you. We could have worked things out, you know, in my little room, in my little locked room. I'm sorry that you had to settle for Dave, the one-dimensional man. He's filed under cocksucker in my little black book. Sweetness can rot your teeth, bittersweet cacophony, and you hold the key, you hold the... You think I don't know every word from Slackers? Devin Sawa, Jason Schwartzman.
insane this information occupies space in your brain. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that sometimes when I hear a song, usually like during a Peloton ride, I'll hear a song that I've literally not heard since like 1998, and I still know 80% of the words. I'm like, what are you doing in there?